Yeah.
The system is completely based on money.
Yeah.
The studio system.
In eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Mel Gibson's appearance in court was nothing short of cinematic, but the drama unfolding wasn't scripted. It was real, raw, and devastating. The actor, a figure both revered and controversial in Hollywood, entered the courtroom with a gravity that silenced. The crowd. His testimony was not just another celebrity moment, but an explosive expose of an alleged underworld of abuse, manipulation, and power games that stretched far beyond the glittering facade of fame. Mel Gibson wasn't just naming names, he was pulling back the curtain on a culture that had thrived in shadows for decades. And at the center of it all stood Shondi Bohms, a mogul who had once been the life of the party, but now faced accusations that painted him as a puppet master in a horrifying web of exploitation.
Violent, horrible, a promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers described the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
The courtroom atmosphere was electric. The audience, a mix of reporters, lawyers, and spectators desperate to catch even the smallest detail of Gibson's account. This wasn't just about Diddy, it was about what he represented. Gibson painted a chilling picture of Hollywood as a machine fueled not by talent and creativity, but by secrecy, coercion, and greed. He described an intricate system of control, where power wasn't just exercised, it was weaponized. At the center were events referred to as freak-offs grotesque.
You can't build a resentment about it. You have to still try and love those people.
Yeah.
Because that's the way they're thinking.
The details Gibson shared were harrowing. These weren't the carefree parties the public imagined when thinking of celebrity gatherings. According to his testimony, these events were meticulously planned and executed. Hotel rooms were stocked with supplies, assistants, fried substances, and cash, and victims were groomed to believe they had no choice but to comply. One woman identified in court filings as Jane described being trapped in these sessions for years, often under the influence of substances provided by Diddy's team. The sessions, she said, were not only degrading, but physically exhausting.
Nights. And what a Wild King night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby.
The courtroom was riveted as Gibson outlined the alleged power dynamics that allowed such behavior to flourish. Diddy, as one of the most influential figures in music and entertainment, wielded enormous power over those around him. Victims were often young, impressionable, and desperate to succeed in an industry where connections could make or break a career. Diddy's wealth and status gave him the leverage to isolate and control them, offering opportunities and financial support with one hand.
This clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, this guy has an addiction. It's not just, once every few weeks, it's every day.
The case against Diddy was already staggering in scope. Federal prosecutors had accused him of turning his business empire into a criminal enterprise, engaging in activities that ranged from coercion and trafficking to physical violence and intimidation. Court documents detailed allegations of kidnapping, forced encounters, and even recordings used as blackmail. One lawsuit described Diddy's alleged role in destroying evidence, including videos and text messages to cover his tracks. Another recounted an incident where a woman was allegedly coerced into participating in a session that left her physically and emotionally broken. Each victim's account added another layer of horror to an already damning picture.
I've often felt it. I've sat there and I have felt the knife slipped firmly in between my shoulder blades and tried to have it shoved through.
Gibson's testimony also highlighted the lengths to which Diddy's team allegedly went to maintain control. Assistants were said to have coordinated travel and accommodations for victims, ensuring they were isolated, and dependent substances were allegedly supplied to lower inhibitions and ensure compliance with victims often left in a haze of confusion and fear. The physical and emotional toll of these events was immense, with one victim describing how she suffered from chronic pain and psychological trauma long after her involvement ended. These were not isolated incidents, but patterns of behavior that, according to prosecutors, spanned decades. The implications of Gibson's testimony were enormous, if even a fraction of what he described was true. It could blow the lid off an entire system of exploitation and abuse in Hollywood.
I want to start with alleged victim number 4, who goes by the name Mia. It's an alias. She is one of the people who is testifying where the judge has granted her anonymity. She is on the stand, but everybody in the courtroom has been warned. Do not reveal her identity. Do not even give a physical description.
The revelations didn't stop with Mel Gibson's testimony or the shocking tales of freak-offs. As investigators dug deeper into Sean Diddy's empire, they uncovered a labyrinth of allegations, hidden connections, and sinister implications that stretched far beyond one man's trial. The courtroom drama was only the surface of a story that seemed to grow darker with every passing day. Authorities, whistleblowers, and insiders were beginning to piece together what some are calling one of the most explosive scandals in modern entertainment history. A scandal that could implicate not only Hollywood elites, but also global figures in politics, business, and even royalty. One of the most chilling discoveries came from the raid on Diddy's Beverly Hills mansion.